Hey, this is Jody from FoodStorageMadeEasy.net. I'm here today with Chris from Titan Ready USA. He's created several products that are pretty unique to the preparedness industry that we're really excited to learn more about. So he's going to show us one today. He came to my house to demo these. They're the Herc ovens, and there's two different ones. This one is the Eco Herc, and this is the XXL. So this one will work more like a crock pot, kind of a slower cook, and this will be just like a regular oven, cooking about 350. So couple things that are really cool, this is just showing you what the little Eco one looks like. So it just snaps together, it compacts down really small. It's really simple. My 10-year-old son actually put this one together today to demo for us. So if he can do it, then I should be able to do it. So I love that. And then the big one compacts to this size of a carry bag. So if you want to leave it out, you can, or if you want to just put it away until there's an emergency that you need it. It's nice and compact, but then easy to put together. So the thing I like about this product, you've heard us talk about sun ovens a lot on our website, and they're fabulous when there is sun outside, but when it's not, or if it's cold enough that you want to be cooking inside, there really hasn't been a solution for indoor oven cooking. There are little butane stoves that you can do, but oven is hard to find. So I love this because inside you can see it'll fit a 9 by 13 pan. It'll go up to 11 by 14, is that what you said? 11 by 15. So that's fantastic for cooking anything that you'd want to cook in an emergency. And it can also fit side by side 3 loaf pans. So you can do a full batch of bread and cook it right in there inside. And the cool thing is it runs off of tea lights. So you'll have to tell me how that all works, because I'm still finding that hard to believe. So you just use these little tea lights, which can cook for 4 hours. Is that right?
4 to 5 hours.
4 to 5 hours. Just with that, cooking at 350, that's fantastic to me. So tell me how it works, because I'm really excited about it.
So the tea light candles, or paraffin actually, has twice the stored energy that alcohol has. And everyone's heard about an alcohol stove. So we can burn half the amount of fuel and get the same amount release of thermal energy with the paraffin. With the XXL, it bakes like your conventional oven. It uses 20 candles, but really what we're not using is 20 candles. We're using 20 wicks, because the wick is what determines the rate that the fuel is burnt or combusts. And it's that combustion that releases the thermal energy, which cooks your stuff. The reason why the Eco uses, or cooks more like a crock pot, is because it only uses 10 wicks or 10 candles. So, but what it works out to is the XXL is about 40 cents a cooking hour. The Eco is about 20 cents a cooking hour. And by burning those 20 wicks at one time, we can bake bread, large pieces of meat for Thanksgiving. We didn't have enough oven space, so we had a 10-pound duck that was stuffed, and it took 4 hours. And it was perfectly done. It wasn't dried out because we're using radiant energy as well as convection. So we're not drying out the food, but we're actually just baking it the way it should be done.
So it has is that because it has the bricks in it?
Yeah. So
the clay, are they clay?
Yes, they're unglazed quarry stone, and by heating those up with the thermal energy, it stores that thermal energy, acts as a reservoir. And then when you put your food in, your food is the coldest thing in the room, that energy, thermal energy, leaves the stones and goes into your food. Kind of like the sun would heat your face if you were in the shade and then you step out into the sun. So the oven thermometer isn't as important, or watching the time. The one thing about these ovens too is they're not airtight, because the candles need that fresh air to function or to operate. So this, you're going to be able to smell your food the whole time. So with the Hercs, we encourage people to just use your nose. You'll know when your food's done. You've cooked enough that don't rely so much on what a thermometer says and what the clock says, but just go by how it's cooking, and you'll know when it's done.
And how it's looking.
Yes,
and so with the bricks on the top and bottom, you're not going to get burnt bottoms. That's great. Because even in a regular oven, that's can be a problem. So what about, because I have little kids, so what's the safety concerns with this? Is it going to heat up my counter? Is it safe on a countertop?
So that's one of the awesome things about the Herc is we use 18 gauge brushed stainless steel, so it's very heavy duty. Everything on the oven is stainless steel except for the 1/4-inch tempered glass, which slides right out of the pocket. You can take this apart with no tools, no fasteners, put it right in your dishwasher. But using stainless steel, it's not a good conductor of thermal energy or heat. So like if this was aluminum, it would really be heating the kitchen. But But with the stainless steel, it reflects it back in, and we'll show you later through some thermal imaging that the bottom of the oven down here on the legs is actually the same color as the countertop. So oftentimes in our videos, we'll have a bed sheet down because it's white, gives us a better video. And we can cook, now I'm not recommending this, but right on flammable material and not have a problem. So
these don't get hot underneath?
No, they don't, because the heat that comes off of the candle is very linear, it goes straight up.
Right. But then the top will be warm.
The top
will
it
be
warm.
like burned to the touch or just like warm?
It will be hot enough that you could put a pan on here and boil water.
Oh,
so
don't don't have the kids touch it.
No, you would want to use some gloves when you're lifting the lid and bringing stuff in and out, or some oven mitts or something like that, but some kind of thermal protection.
And does it radiate a lot of heat out into the room? So like, would it be uncomfortable to be cooking in the kitchen with it?
No, in fact, we have a lot of customers right now that use this in the summertime because it does not heat their whole kitchen.
The way that a big oven.
The way that a big oven
that would
does.
be a nice benefit.
Yeah, because it keeps that thermal energy and keeps bouncing it in. Now, if this was aluminum, it would transfer through the metal and then out into the atmosphere. But this one does not, so it doesn't get warm around it. It just keeps it in there. And then one of the nice things too is if you use half the candles in the XXL, then it'll work like your Excalibur, your food dehydrator. So you can actually dehydrate food, make fruit leather, dry raw nuts. It's very versatile. So, and then there again, the paraffin wax is very easy to store. It's not volatile. It's not going to break down, decompose. It'll last forever, and it doubles as a light source.
So with the candles, so they're safe to store inside, I'm assuming.
Oh yes.
And so you would just keep like a bucket or something with a ton of the little.
Yeah, fill up a 5-gallon bucket. It'll get you about 400 cooking hours. The nice thing about this is when everyone is scrambling for propane or butane or all those other fuels, you're going to be looking for tea light candles if you don't have enough.
Right.
You can find them everywhere.
Go to the dollar store and stock up.
Exactly. Or your neighbors. Who doesn't have tea light candles?
Right. That's awesome. Well, I'm excited to give this a try.